So let's talk about something really interesting. Today, we're diving into a fascinating workshop that's all about helping people navigate their own inner world. Think of it like creating a personal map, an inner GPS that shows you exactly where you stand on two of the biggest, most talked about topics of our time: spirituality and artificial intelligence. And it all really comes down to this one central question, doesn't it? A question that feels more and more relevant every single day. Are these two massive forces shaping our world, spirituality and AI, fundamentally at odds with each other? Or could they actually work together? This whole experience is designed to help you find your own answer to that.
All right, so how does this whole thing actually work? Well, it's all built around where you land on two really fundamental spectrums. First, you've got the spiritual one. How much do you feel like there's, something bigger than us out there? And then there's the tech spectrum. Do you see AI as just a tool, maybe even useless for self-discovery? Or could it actually be a helpful partner on that journey?
Now, here's the cool part. This is not some online quiz where you just click a few buttons. Nope. The creators of this workshop designed a really unique way to make these big, abstract beliefs feel, well, tangible. It actually gets you out of your head and onto your feet. It all happens through this really clever physical sorting process. So imagine this. You get a deck of cards to help you think through your feelings on that something larger question, and based on your answers, you literally go and stand on one half of this giant grid that's taped out on the floor. Then you do it again with a second deck of cards, this time all about AI, and that tells you which of the four final quadrants is your spot. And here's what emerges from that process: four very distinct worldviews. Over in Quadrant 1, you have folks who don't believe in a something larger and think AI is pretty useless for inner work. In Quadrant 2, you've got people who do believe in a higher power but are skeptical about AI's role. Then you flip it for Quadrant 3. No something larger, but hey, AI could be a useful partner. And finally, in Quadrant 4, you find the people who believe in both a higher power and AI as a potential ally.
Okay, so everyone's found their spot on the map, but this is where things get really interesting. Because once everyone is standing in their quadrant, the entire focus shifts away from these fixed labels and towards something way more fluid. In fact, participants are told this very explicitly. The whole point isn't to say, yep, this is me, this is who I am forever. It's just a snapshot in time. The map isn't the territory, right? Everyone is really encouraged to see that where they're standing now can, and probably will, change over time. And that really is the heart of it. These quadrants are not meant to be little boxes to trap you in a personality type. They're just starting points, a way to kick off a deeper exploration and a conversation, both with yourself and with everyone else in the room. So, you've done the intellectual sorting, you've found your spot on the map. What's next? Well, now it's time to connect those ideas to an actual felt experience, to move from just thinking about it to really feeling it in your body. And they use all these really cool tools to do it. We're talking about things like psychodrama, where people might act out a little scene, or just simple body movement, drawing, different somatic exercises that help people explore what it actually feels like to stand in that particular quadrant. And the instruction they're given is so simple, but so powerful. It's all about finding what resonates with you about your spot on the map, or even what doesn't resonate, and then finding a way to express that feeling without necessarily using words. So all of this, the mapping, the moving, the feeling, it's all building towards this one big, profound aha moment. This is the part that often reframes the entire experience for everyone there. So what's the big reveal? It's this. Those four quadrants on the floor, they aren't just four different kinds of people. The huge insight is that they represent four different states of being that exist inside every single one of us. And here's a great way to see it in your own life. People are asked to think back. Which quadrant best describes you as a teenager? Maybe you were firmly in Quadrant 1, a total skeptic. What about in your 20s? And where are you today? It's this brilliant way of showing just how much we move between these different parts of ourselves throughout our lives.
Now, as the whole thing starts to wrap up, the final exercise is just beautiful. It's designed to take each person's individual internal journey and weave it all together into a collective whole. In this closing ceremony, everyone picks a colored ribbon that speaks to them. They write down the biggest question or the main insight that's come up for them. Then, one by one, they share their personal thread with the group, and all the ribbons are gathered together, creating this incredible physical tapestry of the group's shared journey. And this brings us to this one last powerful metaphor. The center of that big grid on the floor, the single point where all four quadrants touch, that represents a place of integration inside us. It's that space where our skeptical self, our spiritual self, our tech-loving self, and our tech-weary self can all meet and coexist. It's about wholeness. Which really leaves us all with one final question to take away and ponder. If you could stand in the very center of your own inner map, acknowledging all those different parts of yourself, what would you find there?